Hey guys, welcome to next chapter number 7, which is disease of eye as well as adnexa. Here we'll be learning in detail in which condition we need to code what kind of codes. Do we have any specific guidelines or not? Yes, we do have some guidelines in this chapter. We'll be learning step by step. Before starting that, the code series starts with H. In the chapter number 7, if the disease is related to eye or adnexa, the code series starts with H. With this, let's start with the first guideline, which is glaucoma, which is the major part of this chapter. Glaucoma, you might be heard this word many times, but we'll talk with regards to coding perspective. For all kind of glaucoma, the code series will be H40. For all kind of code series of glaucoma, it will be H40. Usually it will be H40. And this glaucoma has been categorized or segregated into three stages or three types or three key points which we need to look. We'll be learning in detail about three steps or three keys which we need to look for glaucoma, like type, affected area, stage. What does type mean? What is the type of glaucoma? We have many kind of glaucomas, right? Let's take an example of open angle glaucoma. This is a type. Affected part, where it is affected, whether it's single eye, double eye, or any other partial. This is called affected. Next, severity, whether it's mild, moderate, or severe. It is considered as stage. Remember these three things: type, affected, and stage. These are the three things you need to look into whenever you are coding glaucoma. And glaucoma has couple of guidelines. Let me share that guideline. First one would be bilateral glaucoma with same type and same stage. Same type and same stage. What does it mean? Same type, it might be due to trauma, and stage. What does stage? Mild, moderate, severe, unspecified, whatever it might be. We have some stages. So if you go through in the tabular list, you will be seeing n number of codes and you will be confused on that. Remember one thing: whenever there is a documentation stating that bilateral glaucoma with same type and same stage, we will be coding single code. We will be coding single code, which will be from H40 series, which states that we have a unique code for that: glaucoma, bilateral glaucoma with so and so stage. Let me give an example. If a patient has glaucoma for both the eyes and the stage is mild, in that case we'll be coding single code stating that bilateral glaucoma due to trauma or due to open angle, whatever might be the type, followed by severity, followed by stage, mild. Next, bilateral glaucoma with different type and different stage. Previously same type and same stage. Here different type and different stage. How we will be coding? In this scenario, depends on the documentation, whether minimum would be 2 codes, maximum depends on the documentation. It might be 2, 3, 4, 5, depends on the documentation. But ensure that all the conditions, all the types, all the stages mentioned in the documentation, it should be captured. Let's take an example. If the documentation states patient has bilateral glaucoma and the type would be open angle and the type would be due to some trauma and type would be some X and the stages would be mild, moderate, severe, so we cannot justify in single word, right? So we'll be coding separately: open angle, mild, and trauma, moderate, unspecified. Let's take severe. We'll be coding 3 codes in this scenario. The number of codes you code in the glaucoma, it gives a better picture. That doesn't mean that unnecessarily you need to code n number of codes. It depends on documentation. It depends on the code description. It depends on the diagnosis documented by the physician, whether we need to go with single code or double or 3. Usually we have single codes which gives a clear picture for all the conditions, but if there are multiple types and those multiple types with multiple stages, in that case you will be coding multiple codes. Next one, if you have a documentation stating that indeterminate state, indeterminate stage or indeterminate state, in this case don't go with unspecified. The 7th character should be 4. The 7th character should be 4. Usually for unspecified the 7th character would be something around 0, I guess, but in this case you need to go with 4 as your 7th character. Remember this. If there is no documentation of stage, go with unspecified. If there is a documentation stating that indeterminate state or indeterminate stage, go with this character. 7th character should be 4. Clear?